So, took him to one of my own old haunts, and it's a lovely mark. Some big small-eyed, big spotted, big thornbacks off here in the past, and I know Nick's PB7 spotted, or one of the 7-pounders he had, come from the same mark. But Gef's just come down. It goes to show that no one fishes anymore, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because what we've had to do, this man's a machine. I'll overlap a little bit of video footage a minute ago. He's created an old path. Tree surgeon himself. Look at him. He's nearly gone.
Thorns everywhere.
Yeah. I'm still here. When you need to get to the old coastal paths and you need to create new ones, he's an animal. I'll say an animal, he's a machine. Look at that, straight in there, boy. Let's go get him. Okay, folks, welcome. Down on South Devon again today, joined with my good friend from Wales, Mr. Devon Durham. Down here to target some big specimen small-eyed ray, spotted ray, and thornback ray. I've had all three off the mark, and it's a very good mark for those of you that know it. It goes to show that no one really fishes it anymore, because the amount of hard work we've had to get to the mark here today, and it's phenomenal. I've been here for probably best part of maybe eight or 9 years now, I would say. It's a very good venue on its day. If you fish it right, you've got no conditions to fish it and stuff, but it can throw up some good fish. But I'm just going to cast out now. I've got my good friend from Wales, Mr. Devon Durham. He's joining me for the session to see if he can get a nice big small-eyed out. Obviously living in Wales, you've got a chance of hitting some really nice specimens, but we do this time of year now get some really good big fish down here, as we've had in the past weeks. So he's come to take full advantage. So I'm going to get one out and get into the session. I went to go and cast it, as you've seen then, and unfortunately, do you want to get over there? Unfortunately, I had my mag set a little bit too off, and I know full well with that side wind we got on today, you don't really want that. So that's first rod in anyway. Geffen's about to cast out now. Okay guys, so general equipment what you'll need. Something a little bit pokey, beach caster, just to get the ray up on the surface, especially in fishing in these conditions at the minute. I mean, we're fishing down to low water at the moment, so we're quite lucky of how flat it is, but as it's going to it'll pick up later on as the tide turns, and I'm sure we'll get a few swells coming through, but hopefully that will bring the fish. But what I'm doing now is just bringing my leader up through my eyes. Any like fixed spool reels loaded with 20-pound line and 80-pound shock leader, I would definitely recommend 80-pound shock leader when fishing, because there's a few ledges in front of where we're fishing. But reel wise, just something half tidy. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Pen and the Dowler stuff, really. I don't think you can beat it. I mean, it stood the test of time. I know there's a lot of brands that come out in the market with trying to produce reels and stuff, but to be honest, I think they struggle. And for me, out of all the ones I've tested, I go back to the Fathoms every time. I'm not a big fan of the new Fathoms. I like the old Fathoms. They're bomb proof. They do go in the end after a lot of use and abuse, but Same with anything really, I find in it. But yeah. So I'm using grip leads today. I do like to use bomb leads. If I was down here on my own, I would use a bomb lead, but Gef's got his rods out as well. Gef, do you want to chuck that one there on your my stand as well? Sure. And then we'll both put them out to the left then. So what we doing, and I always do this when we go fishing, everybody's got to be in them with a chance at the end of the day. You go fishing, we've all got a chance catching one big fish, and there's certain areas what we're going to cast to today. But there's no point me just taking up one area and putting 2 baits in it. At the end of the day, the way I fish, you fish as a team, no matter who I'm fishing with. And obviously we've got Gef and me with one rod in one pit, and then we've got me and Gef with rods in the other pit. And obviously, depending on where, sometimes one part will fish better than the other. But what I find is, the one of them especially will fish on the back tide better. So hopefully we don't get too much weed. I mean, today weed could be a problem. If the weed is like it was in the past few weeks, it could be an issue. But I'm hoping with the size of the tide that it's going to take away a lot of the weed. I mean, I can't see nothing on the water out at the moment, which is a very good sign. And the rocks and the beaches next to me aren't full up. So that means there's sand. So hopefully with there's sand, there's going to be few rays. Going to bait up with some launch now, all right? And what I find, especially this time of year now and like the later winter months, launch can be deadly. I call them launch, they can be classed as lance. It's one of them, isn't it? Everybody's got their own preference how they say things. But yeah, all I'm going to do with these is, because what I find is they're different than sand eel. If you tend to cut these, they tend to blow. So I don't want to be blowing them. So I put the hook right down through the yellow part of the launch, bring him up through, right, and then I'll just push him in like so into the eel itself, and then basically I'm just going to put bait elastic round, and they're quite soft, these, compared to sand eel, I find personally. All right, so I'll take that all the way up to the top of the eel. Hope everybody had a good Christmas and a new year, and I hope you've all been enjoying the productions. I mean, we've just been smashing them out the bag, so I'm hoping we can smash out the bag once again. But for those of you that aren't, please like and subscribe. There'll be trailers to all the videos now, so what I'd like to see over the social media platforms, over Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, on Facebook, please share as much as you can. I'll do some like get together competitions, inviting some of the viewers to come have a session with us on camera, and hopefully get them into a few fish. And yeah, as I said, the sponsorship sort of side of thing, everything's product placement now, and within the videos, so it's not going to be all about like, you know what I mean, I've just had enough of it all, if I'm honest. I think if I could go back and turn back time, I would have done things a little bit differently, but unfortunately I can't. And the main thing is for you guys is to be looking at and for us to showing you exactly what we're doing, and just at the end of the day all about fishing. So make sure you hit that subscribe button now, and stay up to date with all the latest productions that we have in store. Gef's reel not sounding too good there. Right, so I'm going to basically turn that on the side, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that down through and bring that through the top of the launch like so, and that one there's ready to go out. So let's get another bait up into the water. Just drop him down using a long running up and over rig. Basically it allows the hook, allows the weight, sorry, to move. So basically once it grips in, allows the fish to take it, but then also it helps set the hook, and especially we're using the ratchet on, so that's ready to go. I'm going to go up on the rock behind me now. I'm going to turn the mag slightly down while I'm here, and then we're going to try and get him out into the other pit. So normally I run these quite fast, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to go 1, 2. I'm going to go 2 for the first time, see how it goes with that side wind, and then maybe open him up a little. I haven't done this in a few years. haven't done this in a few years at all. See how it gets on. I used to hover up here, but I'm actually quite worried now. It's quite wet. Let's have a go. Okay folks, rods are in the water. Gef's just going to put his last one in now. And that's all we can do. It's just a waiting game now. I mean, the clarity of the water is a bit cloudy, and I'm hoping as it goes in the darkness we'll get a few. I mean, daytime low water, it's always going to be one of them. If you're going to get one out, I would say it's going to be half tidy. So hopefully that big one comes along and picks up our baits. Mr. Durham. It's where he wants to be. Where he wants to be. Perfect. What I'm doing, everybody does this differently, but what I'm actually doing myself, I like to feel the fish take over, because at that point then I know it's taking away, and obviously it's going to try to move away, and then I can set the hook. But guys, as you can just see, trying to mix up. The weather's absolutely terrible today, so I'm mixing it a little bit up with our phones, so I can basically keep the camera for for obviously the sound. I mean, the sound quality on the phone's will be terrible, but to try and keep it's a long session we've got on today. Guest's actually fishing a competition and he needs to get a special out, which he can be weighed and returned back to fight another day. So he needs 100% fish. So first fish out, not the biggest of fish, but they're all welcome. They're all welcome. Small-eyed ray, it's a small one. I did think we'd see him a lot bigger than this today, but you can't win them all. They're all welcome. But we're going to get him, he's in a rock pool at the moment, so we'll get a quick couple of photos and then we'll get him back. So, I'm going to get this leftover mushy launce off and we'll get another one on. I'm sure exactly what I'm doing. So, and for anybody that doesn't know, apologise to those that do. In the day, you've got to try and help people at the same time in you guys, so it's one of them. But that's a massive launce there. All I like to do is cut it in beyond that head where it's going to bleed, and what I do then, put it in the palm of my hand and I go up to my top finger and I'll just cut him there. That to me is a perfect ray bait. Okay, not too massive. You don't want nothing too massive, especially for the small eyes. You don't need it. They're not massive rays. I mean, even for a blonde, you want something what it's going to take and basically take straight down. So I'm going to basically put that in there now. Come right down through like so, and they're here. Okay, they're here. We've had them in daylight. The water's not perfect. We just had one, so it's one of them. I think we'll get a few if we have a chance. But I want to see Geffen get a big one out. 11, 12 pounder would be lovely. I'm going to come back down a minute. They can be quite soft. All right. I'm going to stop there a minute because we've got a passing boat, and what I find here, they don't really care. They'll just take your line. So I'm going to reel in quickly. Back again. So
oh, yeah.
He loves it, doesn't he?
Oh,
What I'm going to do is do exactly the same as I've done that time there. I'm going to go down through the eel for the top. And just pull tight just so it's got connection there for the top hook. Let's get another one out. Hopefully the wind's not too bad, but whole prawn there. Struck down, running up and over rigs. Very important to use long traces. I mean, especially in this sort of tide. I know there's someone said to me something about they don't like to use bait elastic the other day, and I thought, what a silly thing not to do. I mean, you can put it onto the line, but if you cast with any sort of power, the eel's just destroyed. With that, when you're not using bait elastic to put a sand eel on, you can't put any power into the cast, because if you do, what you'll find is it'll go over. Even if you put the hooks on the boat, there's just a general movement. You're better off with light bait elastic. There's a question I got put on the internet. I've seen anglers do it. I've never done it myself. I know full well if I don't put a bait elastic on an eel, especially, and I went to cast it with a pendulum cast, it would just go all over the place. So it's important to me to have that bait presentation perfect. It's one of the key things for ray fishing, guys. If you've not got the correct rigs and stuff like that, you're very limited to what you're going to catch. And people say to me, I've tried to catch a ray, I can't catch a ray. I'm not a big fan on pulley rigs, never have been, for catching rays. I mean, the pulley rig is suitable for catching rays, and I do catch rays. I catch long rays on it. The reason I normally use a lot longer rig with a pulley rig, and use like maybe 6 to 8 foot sometimes, depending on the size of the tide. But I don't, if I'm on a channel, exactly the same, I could use a pulley rig again, but I find when there's a lot of movement tide and stuff like, well, especially where we are at the moment, you're not in a great depth of water, and I find that these running up and over is by far are probably the best rig to use for ray, and they work. So drop down rigs work. I've had rays in all different types of rigs, but for me it's probably my favourite rig out of all of them. It allows the fish to take without any tension there straight away, and then obviously it helps, especially with a grip lead, and when it starts to run, it helps to hook the fish before you have to strike into it. So I'm going to get this out anyway. I can release my mags a little bit. I can hear the mags working there. We'll probably put an extra 50 yards with that cast. But the trouble is we've got side wind, and the last thing I want to be doing is bird's nesting all day long, you know what I mean, with the wind. So we'll see how we get on. So unfortunately, I've had this problem here before. The boat's there's like a channel it runs up through, okay? Seems to hold fish. So when the boats come through, they can go right if they want to, slightly, and they can move around your rods. So as they come through, normally give a little wave and just point out. 95% of the boats come past, give you a nice wave. You always get that one, I'm going to use the words from Tyson Fury here, sausage, what seems to want to come, instead of going out around once you've waved, to cut right in against the rocks, to cut all your lines off. And we've just had an incident here again now with a boat, and just obviously give him a wave, point out that we're fishing, and gives us time to bring him in if he can't get through. Instead of that, full steam ahead, straight through, trying to go straight for the lines. Took my right rod out because we're trying to bring the left rods in, and just not needed. People is the only way to describe it, Geff, isn't it? People. Can you think of a better word to describe him than a sausage? I got a few. But no, first cast, first ray. So all we can do is keep trying, guys, really. But I think we'll see a few fish out. I mean, we're going to probably fish up over high water tonight, and then call it a day. But we've got the incoming tide, bass, got a chance of cod, you've got a chance of congers, you've got a chance of bullets, you've got a chance of spotted, thornback and small-eyed. You've got, you know what I mean, the species that you can get here is phenomenal. And hopefully we can get some more fish out. Let's get into the session. So, something a bit different for you. Different venue, different day, different tide. Anything can happen. I hope the sound's all right, guys, because I haven't used the mics I've been using for a little while now, because where we've been going, the wind, but I think as it goes slightly westerly, we're going to feel the wind a bit more here. But it's lovely to be out once again after the solo mission the other night. And yeah, produce a Ray first cast, which is always nice. I'm just hoping Geffen can produce the goods. Need to get him a special. If not, we'll have to go and do something else. But he brought me some prawn down. I forgot to put it in the freezer, so we brought it down on the marks. We've both got prawn bait out at the minute. But yeah, because we haven't got the sunlight over and it's quite a dull day, I think we've got more chance of getting the rays out with the clarity of the water, because it's quite cloudy still, and obviously where the wind's going is going to make it worse. So it's what we need, really. Someone said something to me the other day, and I'm going to ask you viewers to see what you think it would mean. Someone said to you, there's 60 seconds in a minute, but there won't always be. I don't know how to take that advice. Do you, Geff?
A couple of ways, isn't it?
Yeah, there is a couple of ways. But what a strange thing to say to someone, you know what I mean? But I've brought it down to time, I think. I mean, I think we all focus on all the like nitty gritty and all the rubbish what goes on in life. And I think it's a bit of a roller coaster, really. You all have your ups and downs, don't you? Everybody has. You all have your good times, you have your bad times. And it can be a struggle at times for everyone. But I think when you have your dull and darkest moments, it sort of like gives you strength more to push forward in life. And I think everybody needs that in life. And I know, like, it's just one of them. You have your ups and downs, don't you? But I think the main focus, I think we spend so much time worrying about the pointless things in life rather than what really matters. And you only get one life, don't you, at the end of the day? You only get one chance to do it, and you can't rewrite it. Once you make decisions and once you've sort of like do things, you've got to sort of like stand by them, really, don't you? And same thing with your job, same things with your hobbies, same with family, same thing with everything. You only get one go at it. You know what I mean? If you're not happy, you do other things, don't you? You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Probably rambling on a little bit, but I thought we'd make this fishing adventure a bit more than just a normal everyday let's go and catch some fish. Geffen's got a pulley rig out now.
Nice and long.
This is my mate Geffen Durham. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, man.
Pulley rigs, sort of thing you like to use over in your neck of the woods?
Yeah.
More often, just really reason being helps get the fish off the ground and lead out the way.
Yeah, get them away, anything that's snags you up on the way in.
Yeah. So, how would you describe this mark compared to where you normally fish?
Fishing a river.
It's a bit like fishing a river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You wouldn't think it'd be easier.
No, looking at it compared to obviously a lot of where you fish is a little bit different.
Yeah.
A little bit by Ogmore, but similar.
Yeah, the mouth of Ogmore. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. But we had a bit of a ramble getting down here, didn't we?
Yeah.
Does that the mud come from getting down here?
Possibly.
Honestly, guys, we walked down and it's been that long I couldn't remember what path to take, and we went to go into one path and we ended up having to walk back up. We eventually found something what used to be a path, didn't we?
Well,
No chance. Yeah. So Geff used his old hunting routes and was like, look, there's a badger run there, we'll follow it. So we sort of like followed it all the way to the end. I was like, Geff, there's brambles, and he was like, not anymore. It's like, hold the rods. I went marching through the brambles, which was quite good because it opened up an entrance for us.
I wasn't walking back.
No, we managed to get to a fence, jumped over it, walked through a field, and then we ended up having to jump over another fence, and then we ended up in what you could describe as a jungle, I would have thought, innit? A wet jungle which is sliding all over the place. And then we managed to find a way onto the old existing footpath and managed to get here, which was nice. It's a bit wet on the top there, under feet, innit? I think we'll have to watch that later on. But same with everything, guys. You need a decent pair of walking boots or hiking boots. I've got the grubs on. They're like an ankle. They're a little bit more. They're like a short welly, basically. But you know, I'll take one off to show you if I can. I might have to sit down for this. Get me socks out now. So I use these. I've had them a little while now, but they're very warm. The studs are slightly gone on some of them. There's a couple of studs still in there. I'm gonna have to re-stud them, but they're very strong, and to be honest, highly recommend them really for the money. Fish on. Let's get my welly back on now. But yeah, we're out and about. Need to try and get some fish. Hey?
Crabs, Jersey?
Yeah, you probably have a few crabs.
There's no bait on there.
Bait's gone on Geff's rod. I'm going to bring this right one in a minute because he did take it, but he keeps going slack. Boom. Bring him home, bring him home. Okay folks, so the wind swung around a little bit now, which made it a little bit more pleasurable for us. I'm going to bait up another bait up. I'm going to probably just get into the fishing sort of side of things now. And you've basically seen what we're doing. Sand eels, launce, prawn, Gaff's got some squid and bluey there. I mean, mixture of it all really. Do you know what I'm going to actually do now? Play around a little bit, because sometimes it can make all the difference. Now, where I am at the minute, the number one bait is by far sand eel, 100%. It'll outfish everything, and I mean everything. I know people like to use prawn. I've had massive thornbacks, I've had cod, I've had bass, I've had it all on sand eel, and my personal preference is sand eel. Sand eel on its own, you can mix up with a bit of bluey when the fish are in numbers and that, but most of the time you're looking for that's key bait. So these are only mediums. That's all you need really, guys. And then what I'm going to do, I did have a launch ready, but I'm just going to basically cut this one here again like that. I'm going to cut it down through the middle, all right? Because they're only mediums, I like to use, to be honest, I like to do it with most of the sand eel really, even when they're a large and extra large, if I can get away with it. But sand eel is becoming a bit of a pain to get hold of. We're quite lucky to see our good friend at Southwest Sea Baits, Matt Perry, and he had a couple of spare packs for us to purchase. And I mean purchase, we bought them, and top class eels. I mean, they remind me of the old Amel Blue, if I'm honest. They're lovely. They're a lovely ray bait. And yeah, I've got the little bead, so I'll put that down over the top. It moved around slightly then, but I'm going to put him back over. And basically I'm going to come down through the side of the back. Okay, so I'm going to come through like that. And these are prime and frozen. Like so, like that. Alright. And then what I'm going to do now is get the half a sand eel and put him over like so. And I'm just going to bury all my hook and line in that. Get a bit of bait elastic. Like so. A bit of bait elastic on the top there, just to hold the hook. I was going to see us a small eyed. Let's get him out and see if we can get one. See if we can get one out then, boys and girls. That, it's gone right in there. See if we can get one out. Getting quite slippy on the rocks. See, I feel a spot of rain in the air. Gonna have to let that lead settle. Bait's coming back in strict at the minute. Tide's just about to change now, so it's time to hit it hard, so to speak. But what should we go for here? I'm going to go for sand deal again, I think. Just a one fish at the minute. We've been fishing it quite hard, but just one of them things, isn't it? Daylight's not helping. It's quite clear, the water. I mean, as soon as the sunlight's coming now, and I don't want it to come, there's some dark clouds there, so hopefully the dark clouds just like push the sun away a little bit and give us a bit of darkness on the water. But I'm sure as you go over to the high water later on, we'll see a few fish out. It's medium sand deals now. So, sand deal and a half. Exactly the same again, going round. I'm just going to put it right up through the top of the eel, like so. Pull down the trace line, keep him impact. And then it's time to clip him down and blast one out. Now I just want to say something, guys, right? Any of you looking for coats over the winter months, right? It's probably not, I don't know. I'm just going to tell the truth. This rab jacket I got on here, by far the best item of warm clothing I've ever bought for fishing. And I mean, I've gone through I've gone through loads of items like clothing, especially over the years. And I was wearing it the other night, and Gav has his fishing gear on and all the stuff, and I literally had that and a polo shirt on, and I was boiling. I mean, I had to take my beanie off in the end. It was that warm. But they're not cheap by all means, but for this sort of thing, outdoor pursuits gear is perfect for this time for winter fishing and stuff. And yeah, it's just one item which, to be honest, I was going to keep for best. I've took it fishing and it's just blown out the water for me really now. But I'm going to get this bait out and hopefully we can see another smalleye.
Oh, take me back to the sun.
Right, let's let the mags off. Hopefully it's blowing up. I've got a good feeling about this calf. I've got a good feeling about this eel. A little bit right of where I wanted to go, but got to be in to win it. Right, just blasted that one up to the horizon here now, and I'll set my drag. Got a feeling I've cast too right. We shall see, we shall see. Okay folks, so it's not been fishing very well at the minute. We had that one fish, first cast, and we've been giving it everything, and I mean everything. We're quite sheltered from the wind at the minute. Sounded like a ratchet then. Slow ticking. You never know, do you? But no, we're gonna fish as long as we can on this mark. Get pushed back off, and yeah, it's one of them really. I don't think we're gonna fish the second mark due to the wind. The wind's gonna just be too bad. We sort of picked this venue perfectly, really. But unfortunately, not today. But every tide's different. You can't get them all the time, can you? But hopefully now, with the time we got off over Christmas, and get over with Geff and return the favour and go over and see him and do a little bit of Welsh fishing at the same time. Yeah, South Wales, you reckon? I wouldn't mind if I over the West Coast. But yeah, we'll get back into it, but if not, we've got a long walk home, and until the next time. Hey, small-eyed ray. Not massive today, guys, unfortunately, but at the end of the day, a fish is a fish. What a sight! Can't win them all, but we've come down, we've had fish, we've still got the flood to come, but we've not had nothing on the back tide, which, on the dropping tide, which I was hoping to see a few more fish, really. I mean, the clarity of the water's not perfect, it's quite clear, but with the overcast sky, I thought we'd still see a few fish out. The darkness is about to hit us now, so you never know, but we haven't got long. Unfortunately, we're going to go on to a different mark around the corner over the top of the tide, but I think we'll try it, but I think the wind, like me and Geff are just talking now, is going to cut us off. But I hope you enjoyed the venture. We'll be in South Wales this week. It's Geff's neck of the woods. See if we can pull a few fish out. Tight lines. What we got to do now?
Fuck you.
What we got to do now?
Walk about that fucking hill.
How far do you reckon that's up?
By elevation or?
Yeah. How far the way to the top, elevation?
Elevation from sea level is probably 150 metres.
Yeah. Looking forward to it?
No.
About 90% of the way up now, and this is what goes into it, boys and girls. Unfortunately, a lot of climbing and a lot of blank and unrewarding sessions like this today, but if you want the big ones, it's a time game. There's some good people in this world. I'm going to tell you a story about this vast rucksack. So we decided to go fishing this evening, as you've just seen in the video, and we've drove probably about an hour and 10 minutes back to my house in Teignmouth, where Geff undone the rest of the fishing gear to put in his van to travel back to Wales, and we've just had to come back and pick it up because he left it at the mark. I can't believe it's still here, mate. That's unreal. Game on.